take you through 20 minutes of flex and bend heart opening yoga. Grab your mat and get ready to begin. Hello friends, and welcome to Asana with Jess. Starting with a shoulder roll backwards to draw the shoulders away from the ears, tucking the rib cage in for a neutral spine, placing your palms on your knees and gazing down or closing your eyes. Taking a few deep breaths here to reset the body and prepare your mind for our class today. When you are ready, moving onto your hands and knees in a tabletop position. Tucking the spine down, looking forward for cow. Inhaling. Exhaling, arching the spine, tucking the chin into the chest for cat. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Moving through this motion, mobilizing the spine, getting ready for our heart opening asanas today. Take one more here. And coming back to a neutral spine, walking your hands forward, keeping your hips in line with your knees, tucking your forehead to the ground for our extended puppy dog pose. Feeling the opening between the shoulder blades, drawing your chest towards the mat. Either keeping your elbows raised, engaging the arms, or pressing your elbows into the mat for more stability. To target the upper back just a little bit more, bring the hands together in a prayer pose behind your head. Pulling the shoulder blades apart, deepening the stretch. Embracing any tight spots and sending your breath towards them. For an even deeper stretch, try bringing your chin to the mat. When you are ready, keeping your elbows grounded, gazing forward, lengthen your arms out in front of you and pull through, coming onto your stomach in our cobra pose, gazing up towards the ceiling, feeling the length through the spine. Now time to give our sides a little bit of love. This is often neglected. Keeping the left elbow grounded, roll onto your left hip. Stacking the feet on top of each other. Keeping that elbow bent or lifting up to extend the arm and deepen the stretch. Your right hand can be at your side or place it in front of you to help keep you stable. Feeling this deep stretch up the left side body. A lovely side bend. And coming back into your cobra pose and rolling on to the other side this time, planting the right elbow down, coming onto the right hip, stacking the feet and either staying at your elbow level or extending the arm coming up onto your right hand. Using the left hand to stabilize you, feeling a lovely deep stretch up the right side body this time. And releasing back into Cobra, coming onto your chest, pushing up into our upward facing dog this time, lifting the thighs off the mat and pushing the hips to the sky, untucking the toes for our very first downward dog. Bending the knees one at a time, warming up the hamstrings and the calf muscles. And pressing the heels to the mat, feeling the deep release up the back of the legs. Gazing forward and taking 4 to 6 small steps towards your hands, coming into a forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold, bend at the knees, bringing the hands into the sky, drawing them together, taking a little back bend and down to heart center. Inhale, and on the exhale, draw the hands into the sky. Take a little back bend, bend at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Step or jump into a plank position and taking your chaturanga. Upward facing dog, pushing the hips to the sky, untucking the toes, downward dog. Lift the left leg into the sky for three-legged dog, pointing the toes, keeping that leg straight, and bending at the knee, opening up through the hips, stacking them, and drawing that left foot to the mat behind you. Left arm over the top of your head for our flip dog. And returning to center, lowering that left foot to the mat for our downward dog. Moving to the other side, lifting the right foot into the sky, pointing the toes, and bending at the knee, opening up into the hips, and placing that right foot on the mat behind you, flipping over, bringing the right arm above your head for our flip dog. And returning to center, lowering that foot to the mat for downward dog. Inhale, and on the exhale, roll through vertebrae by vertebrae into plank. Take your chaturanga, upward facing dog, and hips to the sky, untucking the toes for downward dog. Just going through a flow to reset. Now take 4 to 6 small steps towards your hands. Taking a few breaths here, letting the arms go and decompressing the spine. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Forward fold, bending at the knees, slowly lifting the torso up and bringing the hands to heart center. Moving on now to a balancing heart opening bend, standing in the middle of your mat, balancing on the left foot, bend the right knee, holding onto it with your right hand behind you. Bring the left arm out in front of you in a peace fingers sign. Gently lean forward, lifting that right foot up towards the ceiling. Keeping the left leg strong and steady. Keeping your torso upright, but lifting that back leg as high as you can, creating a gentle bend in the spine. And release to the mat. Walk the feet out and moving on to the other side, balancing on the right foot, bending the left knee, holding onto that foot behind you with the left hand, leaning forward, keeping the right arm in front of you and our peace fingers, and lifting that left foot towards the ceiling. Our dancer's pose. And release to the mat, nice and controlled. Gently pedaling the feet out, releasing any tension. Coming to the top of your mat again, inhale, lifting the hands into the sky, coming into a forward bend, and this time placing your knees on the mat, coming into a kneeling position with a little bit of room behind you. Placing your hands on your lower back, fingertips pointing down, gently lean back, gazing towards the ceiling. If you feel comfortable here, try reaching your right arm to your right foot, and maybe your left arm as well to the left foot. And if it is within your practice, you can lean your head all the way back for our camel pose. To come out of this pose, keep your head as it is, lift the torso back up, placing your hands on your lower back once more, and slowly lift your head up to center. And moving into our counter pose, child's pose, knees together, hands out in front of you. Aiming to have a flat back, resting your forehead on the mat. Inhale, and on the exhale, pull yourself through onto your stomach. Bring your hands at your sides, palms facing up, and press your forehead on the mat. Inhale, and on the exhale, lift your chest off the mat, gazing forward. Maybe lift the arms also. And if you can, lift your legs off the mat too, for our locust pose. A nice back stretch, lengthening through the spine, trying not to strain the neck. One more breath here. And lower to the mat. Push yourself back, this time taking your knees as wide as the mat, toes together, pressing back into child's pose. Feeling a deep stretch in the hips. And slowly walking your hands in towards your body and moving to the front of the mat. Staying on your knees. Tuck your calf muscles out from underneath you so you can comfortably lean back, coming onto your elbows. Now you can stay here, or you can lower your back to the mat. And for an even deeper stretch to the quads, you can lift the arms above the head. For our reclined hero pose, Relaxing into this pose, feeling the deep stretch in the quad muscles and sending breath towards it. Take one more breath here, a nice, slow and steady one. To come out of this pose, bring your hands back at your sides, coming onto your elbows, tucking the chin into the chest and lifting the torso up. Take a moment here before lifting all the way up, coming onto your hands. And when you're ready, returning to a neutral spine and then pressing back into child's pose, our counter pose. This is our last pose of today's class, a lovely restorative counter pose for all of the heart opening back bends that we have done in today's class. Focus on how your body feels. Maybe your spine feels a bit more mobile, a bit less stiff. Maybe you feel some opening in between the shoulder blades. Embrace how your body feels. And praise yourself for taking the time to do yoga today and taking care of your body. You can stay here for as long as you like, but if you're ready, slowly walk the hands in towards your body, coming into a cross-legged position in the middle of your mat. And finishing how we started, a nice shoulder roll, tucking the rib cage under for a neutral spine, hands on your knees, and taking a few deep breaths to close off our practice today. Breathing deeply into the belly and not letting the shoulders rise when you inhale. Bringing your hands to Anjali Mudra Heart Center. Thank you so much for practicing yoga with me today. Namaste.